of the Lord Leycester have been on this site for 700 years, and they were built by the guilds of Warwick between 1385 and 1430. What's really unusual about the Lord Leycester is that to have a site like this in the medieval ages that is really very big for a medieval site, to have it put up in the space of 20 or 30 years is quite extraordinary. And it means there must have been a very powerful group of people with a lot of money who put these buildings up. And we can only surmise that they built these buildings as a symbol of power. And these buildings have stood very much in the same way they look very much the same as they did in the medieval period. They haven't changed fundamentally. Robert Dudley, Earl of Leicester, came riding by in Warwick, saw these incredible buildings that the guilds had built, and thought, I'd quite like to have those because I'd like to make what the Tudors called a hospital at the Lord Leycester. On Boxing Day in 1571, the burgesses of Warwick handed these buildings over to Robert Dudley, and that was the day that the Lord Leycester Hospital was founded. And it was founded as a charity. Robert Dudley said that it should be a place of philanthropy to look after wounded warriors and deserving soldiers of the Elizabethan age. And it's had that charitable mission ever since. I am the master of the Lord Leycester Hospital. I've been here for 5 years, and I am the first female. And people often ask me, so you're the first female, why did they pick you? And you know, the simple answer is that, well, I was qualified for the job. But what does that mean? One of the requirements to be a master of the Lord Leycester Hospital is that you had to have been a British Army officer. So before World War II, you had to have been a member of the clergy, and then after World War II, the rules changed and you had to have served in the British military. So all the masters since World War II have been either Navy or British Army. Inevitably, with 700-year-old buildings made of wattle and daub, there's going to come a time when you look around and think, goodness, it needs a major restoration and refurbishment. The last time the restoration and repairs happened here significantly was in the 1960s, and then before that in 1850. So it seems like, you know, every few decades you've got to step back and say it's time to do repairs and refurbishments. We will restore and repair the fabric of the building, but at the same time we will create a wonderful heritage experience of historical interpretation, so that when our visitors walk through the door, it opens up a whole new world, a medieval world, a Tudor world, the story of Robert Dudley and Elizabeth I and their romance, the story of the brethren who lived here since the 1500s and came to live at the Lord Leycester with their war stories. We want to open up that world to our heritage visitor. So all of that is going to be done while we're closed, and we hope to reopen in the summer of 2023 with this extraordinary new experience with a repaired Lord Leycester, and put it on the map as a wonderful heritage experience and a place to visit in the Midlands and all of England probably.